What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Travis. Of course, you are watching TWA Motorsports, and in today's video we have a few upgrades for the shop truck, one of which is sitting back here. The other is in a couple boxes over there, and we're going to be upgrading the headlights. Now, I told you guys when I swapped this grill out, I did that for a reason, because I kind of wanted to try these headlights. Now, this isn't like me because I'm not like a Ricer headlight guy, okay? But I just saw this picture. It was a truck that was listed for sale, actually, and I cannot find it for the life of me, or I would post it here, with these headlights on it. And I thought it looked cool. And maybe it's not. And maybe these things suck, and I've never used this brand. So look, time will tell. Guys, normally I'm a TYC guy. They make great replacement products. A lot of body shops use it. They fit good. These things may fit like crap. I don't know. But we're going to be upgrading to LED, of course. This thing's got old halogen. It's like driving around with a candle. And I upgrade a lot of LEDs. We've done a majority of I need a dome light for the inside of the truck. But anyway, real quick though, I don't know what is going on. If any of you guys are bug experts, look at all the dragonflies flying around here. I don't know if the camera's picking them up. And they're all over. Like the backyard's full of them too, just like that. I don't know if it's like that season. I mean, we have dragonflies around here occasionally, but that's insane. Like there's hundreds, if not thousands. Anyway, we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna show you guys this process, or some of it anyway. I'm gonna start by getting the grill out. Now, you guys saw me do that recently, so I'll do that off camera. We're gonna take these little pins out with my clip removal tool, get this thing out of the way. There's one 10mm here in the center, and then there are a Phillips to unscrew each of these corners, and then this thing pops out. There is a clip here that you kind of got to pull out, but we'll get that out of the way, and that is where we will start. And then maybe we'll open up that box, take a look at what we've got. Now that we got the grill out of the way, these are about the most simple headlights to remove. Slide that pin out, slide that pin out. Headlight is loose. Okay, we just need to reach down there and unplug it. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let it sit there for now. Won't hurt anything. Okay. It's not going to sit. Anyway, we'll get the other side as well. Set these up here on the battery. Get it unplugged, and then we'll go down and I'll show you the side markers are relatively easy as well. Now, as far as these go, they're pretty simple as well. There's a clip towards the outside. You can see it right. Well, let's move that over. You can see it right there. If we push in on that, this will release, and then it pulls out of two little tabs. It's got these two little centering pieces you can see set there, but then this clip goes in. So when you put it back in, we'll go in here first. But now that we've got that apart, I'm going to go ahead and twist all of these bulbs out. I think I'll probably replace those at the same time, assuming I have some. Got both sides out. You can see those lights have seen way better days. I actually didn't even have, this is the daytime running light for the driver's side, but the passenger one didn't even have a bulb in it, which, look, it's very common for these things to burn out. You could see all the like charcoal. These things get hot as they're on a lot. You know, they're on during the day, whereas, you know, your blinkers and whatnot are only on at night. So my guess is this thing was driven more in the day. But anyway, let's go grab the lights out of the back of the truck and take a look at what they look like. Okay, let the Ricer comments start here. This is what I chose to go with. And the reason I did is, like I said, I saw this truck and I liked the look of this, but pretty much standard shape, you know, but it has an LED strip on the bottom and it has a strip on the top. Now, I know you guys have seen the ones where they're kind of like this, so they're both in the center. But this one looked really neat because it came off of the top of the grill. So the grill continued basically into the headlight and it stopped. And same thing at the bottom. So I really wanted, there's only like one company, I'll list these in the description, but there's only like one or two companies that make these. And they had mixed reviews. So look, I know what I'm getting into with these aftermarket housings. Sometimes, like I said, they fit really, really well. The other times they fit like crap. So what we're gonna do is, I will tell you one thing to notice when you buy aftermarket housings like this is you get some adjustment to get them in the box. So you have two adjustments on these. You can see that is the kind of in and out, this adjustment, and I believe, or maybe vice versa. So maybe this is up and down here and in and out. So don't force them into the cavity well, this is the other side, but don't force them into this area where you're really pushing on them to get your pins in, okay? Adjust them a little bit, and then you can always make adjustments afterwards, but I see a lot of people that like force these in and they snap these housings. Now, I will say I've had a lot of cheapies. This housing, the support on the back is pretty strong, so that's a plus. But we're not just going to put these in without putting the LEDs in, so I'm going to go grab my LEDs and see if I have these bulbs. I don't know that I do. I will tell you the outer turn signal marker is already installed there. You can see it's just a pre-wired in LED there in the corner. I don't know how much I love that, but anyway, let's see what bulbs we got. I guess I didn't plan this out very well. I don't think I have any daytime running lights. I believe I have the 3157s for the turn signals, but you can see that I chose to go with C-Light. I've used these in the past. I'm more of a Last Fit guy, but Last Fit kind of quit selling on Amazon, and I generally get a lot of this stuff on Amazon. So I'll list these in the description. I've used them in the past. They've been okay. I'm just more of a Last Fit guy, but I bought the little box there is for my fog lights, but I just noticed that, check out that fog light housing. That's terrible. So, and I didn't buy any of those. So this isn't going to look the greatest right now, but we can always upgrade those a little later, and I'll probably wait to put those bulbs in because that one is completely full of moisture. I don't want to try installing that with moisture in it, so we'll leave those to the side, but I'll list them both in the description. I like to get them the same color, okay? So these are white, I guess they call it, but they're like 6000K, and this I believe is 6000K, which I like to have them the same color, okay? 6500 seems pretty popular. I've used that in the past, but anything higher in that range gets a little on the blue side for me, and anything lower gets a little on the yellow side. So 6000 or 6500K, that's kind of where I like to be as far as color goes. But let's pull those out, see if they will fit in these housings. That's another reason I like to buy certain ones, is because these housings are so slim when you're trying to put a bulb in, so you don't have a lot of room for a big fan. Especially on, what's that, the bright or the dim? I don't remember. So you don't have a lot of room to sneak one in there. Same over here, you got a little more room, but the fans, if you get one with a really big fan, they're gonna interfere. Now these things fit great. You can see this one here is rotated kind of awkward. And so there is an adjustment screw in here. The bright side, I think this is the inside. That's perfect. And the reason I want it this way is, see the reflector in the background here? We want to reflect off that. And so this one right here is going to be awkward. So what you can do is, if you take these out, there's a set screw underneath this seal that we can loosen up and adjust that to where this ring, this outer ring, can move. And that's what I'm going to do. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to try to get this beam or this bulb facing up and down where our light is reflecting off of the actual reflective material here. So I think it's a T10, they said. Let me get a pick, pull this seal back a little bit, and we'll give it a shot. So when you take that off, you can see there's a screw on each side, and I slid it over one position and test fit it. These are the world's smallest screws. They send you extras, luckily. See those things? They're incredibly hard to hold on to. In fact, I dropped one, so I'm glad they sent extras. But now we can put our seal back on and put this thing in to stay. Now, I couldn't get that one perfectly, like 12 and 6, but there's no other, like, there's special holes in it, so there's no way to get it like that. Close enough. So anyway, we're good with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and try to set it into place here, get our pins in, get these plugged in. I will tell you that the 9000, what is it? The 9006 is the inner, 9005 is the outer. I think the insides are bright. So anyway, this kit comes with both. Let's get it up in there, get the pins in, plug it in, and kind of loop our wire back behind there for now. And then we still have to hook up our LED runner up top, but let's just kind of get a fit for it and see how it actually goes in the truck. Now this is what I was talking about when I said don't force these pins. So this one went in really easy, and you can see down there, let me turn my light on here, that it's lined up This one, however, a little harder to see because it comes through here on the bottom, but it does not want to go into place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach down in here with the T15, and we're just going to make a little bit of an adjustment. Now, we're going to have to adjust these a little bit once we get them all installed where our light beam hits and whatnot. But for now, I just want to get my pin into place, and I don't want to break the plastic housing. It's very, very easy to do. So make some adjustments back and forth until those line up nicely, and this drops in relatively easy. Now you may have to give it a little bit, but don't force this or you will snap this piece back here that holds this all into place. For now, I'm just gonna put a couple 3157s. I'm just gonna put one in here just to test all this. Like I said, this plugs in, that's already built into the light. And we're not gonna mess with this for the time being. That's gonna light this guy up and the one on the bottom. Because I'm thinking I may order some housings and turn this, instead of it being a daytime running light, I may turn it into a secondary blinker. I've seen people do that in the past where you actually have two blinker lights and you don't have that daytime running light that always is on during the day, and looks kind of weird, to be honest with you. I never understood. I mean, I guess for safety, GM did it, but for now, let's put the 3157 in there. Let's plug this in and just set this light in place, and we will give it a shot. It may or may not work with one side installed and not the other, but we'll give it a shot just to see. They slid into place fine. This is kind of tricky because if you're not paying attention, those same two things, like the bottom of this sets in, this looks like the opening that it's supposed to go in. So I don't know what that's for. I don't know if there were different size lights, because right above this you have a spot where you could technically put those as well. But seems like a really big gap in between these two, which was one of the complaints. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off. I'm pretty careful, I feel like. Just pull it off. And then we get an actual look at it. I'm pretty careful putting them in and out, so I don't think I'm gonna hurt anything. Of course, some of the plastic's still there. I'm gonna have to pull this out and pull that plastic off. I don't know. I'm kind of hit or miss on it, guys. I think it goes good with the black up front because I got the smoked ones, I guess they call them. It's just different than what you guys normally see me install. Like these are, other than the bottoms, these are pretty factory. The tops are TYCs. The bottoms are kind of an aftermarket with a more clear. Let's go turn them on and see what it looks like. Like I said, it may not work with only one side plugged in. Sometimes it doesn't give it the correct. Oh, yeah, it's working. So that is our dim and our light down low. That looks pretty good. And let's get the brights and see what happens here. Oh yeah. That looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is off camera, I'll go ahead and knock this other side out, and then we'll go back to this. I tried to fit that turn signal bulb in here and it doesn't work real great. So we'll just have to either figure out how to wire this or find a bulb or an actual replacement plug that will work, and we can tie in a second turn signal. Got both of them in, and for no other reason than I'm really impatient, I'm going to set the grill back in there just to see what it looks like. Like I said, I don't have these connections made for the running lights, which I don't necessarily even care if they work, to be honest with you. I just like the way they kind of continue the grill. But I want to put the grill back in so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Let's just get the grill snapped in. Now you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So the Tahoe grill has the chrome on the top, whereas the Silverado grill does not, or at least some of them don't. And so that line on that top chrome continues. I think it's like a sleek look, and then the kind of the smoked color matches the black in the center of the grill. I don't know, guys. I think it's a good look. Now these fit decent. This right here, there's no adjustment in this. So however this fits is how it fits, and however the grill fits is pretty much how it fits. So that side looks decent. Now this side, that's pretty good too. I mean, these things don't fit great from the factory. But I will say that if you notice, the headlight has a decent gap in the bottom. I think we can pull that down and help line this up. Now, we may have to adjust all that when we go to actually aim the headlights, but I'm pretty happy with this for the most part. I'm gonna tweak on the adjustments to kind of get it to line up with the grill, and then we'll just have to see when we actually go to aim these things. Now, I pretty much maxed out the adjustment. The grill will come up just a hair on the center, which will close up the gap on the bottom of those, but looks pretty decent in my opinion. But we won't know until we actually aim them. But let's get some more bulb. Whether I buy an actual bulb to go in there, I would rather have another turn signal, to be honest with you. I think it'd look a little nicer, a little cleaner. But for now, this one looks like it's the bracket that holds the back of this one is just tweaked a little bit, so it's kind of going uphill. I hate that, but there's no adjustment there. You know, you can't make that adjustment. So we'll just have to deal with what we got and be happy with an aftermarket housing. Sometimes you just got to live with it. But anyway, let's see if we can find some new bulb sockets. So next night, got things kind of took apart again. And here's what I did. I went to my local parts store and I got another plug so we can turn this into a turn signal. Now, the downside is when you buy a turn signal socket, it comes with 3 wires, which is what we need. The old one comes with 2 wires. Okay, well, we've got the 3 wires now. That's good. The downside is it is keyed different. So this guy right here only has provisions for 2 wires. And so I've seen a couple people that they've taken this apart and actually used this, but mine's all broken. And so I'm not going to use it. And you can actually spin this and get it to fit snug. Is it the right way? No, but it does work. So that is what I'm going to do. So it makes this pretty simple in the fact that we just need to tie in to these 3 wires here. And they should correspond, okay? So whatever wires going in the bottom here should go in the bottom here, and so on. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unwrap this, take some of the loom off of it, and we're going to use this to extend this. Now the cool thing is where mine fits snug, it's actually facing that direction, which will be good. So I'm going to pull this back, get that stripped down. I'm also going to use this same method to plug these in. Okay, so we've got these 2 guys. I'm going to try to put all this in one connection, so we're not making, you know, 10 different connections here. I would rather these be on a plug in case I had to take them out, but it's not a big deal. I can just cut them. You know, how often do you take your headlights out? Not very often. And honestly, it has enough where it could probably just hang there if I ever got to that point. I'm probably going to leave it on this side. I say that. I may go through the back of this so I don't see the wire. Or I may just actually wrap it in some tape. So if you do see it, it's black. It's not noticeable. But let's peel this back and see what we got. I've got all the wires stripped. Okay. These are pretty simple. Even though they're all white, I twisted them with the corresponding way they come out of the other one. Okay, so that dummy proof there. These are pretty simple. Power and ground. I know that the black is ground on this front connection. Okay, this is on the truck side, what we cut off here. I do not, however, know which one's the turn signal and which one is the park. So I'm going to go flip the park lights on. I'm going to grab my meter and we're going to test this. That didn't work quite as good as I wanted. My meters dead. So what I did was I thought it was the brown, but I twisted the black together and I twisted the white together with the brown and it worked. And then I tested it on this one and this one's a turn signal. So blue's a turn signal, that's fine. So now that we know this, we can start to hopefully put some shrink wrap on this. I've got my soldering gun all heated up. We're gonna solder all of these connections. Once I get it soldered and heat shrinked, which I've got a stack of heat shrink here, I obviously got to put this in line to the bottom. Then maybe we can give it a shot and see if this new setup's gonna work. I'm hoping it will, guys. Got all my connections soldered. So let's see. I guess honestly, this guy can just hide back here in the back. I'll probably put some tape over that so it doesn't like short out since it's not gonna have a bulb in it. Let's go turn at least our turn signal on, or not our turn signal, but our park lights on and see if that bottom piece works. Looks like it is, yeah. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to clean up those bulbs. If I put bulbs in them now and turn the turn signals on, I'm afraid they're going to burn a hole and stuff. I guess I can plug them in and just set it on the bumper like this. Well, we know they both work. Let's go hit the hazards, because I don't think... Look at that, both blinking. Now I can clean up my mess, get these things turned off. They're going to be boiling hot at this point. I don't want to use LEDs up here. I want the halogen look up front, especially with this. We'll take a look at it once it's all done, but I'm going to wrap some of this in tape and make it look a lot nicer. And then we'll get it set back in place and you guys can take a look at it. You can kind of see how I cleaned it up. I left these out in case I do have to ever remove them and cut them. I don't think you'll ever see them. I got it back behind on the light here. This guy on the end just plugs in because the bulb is built in, so no replacing it. It plugs in and then your factory piece just twists into place, but I think I've got it. I want to get it, let's get it plugged up in here and then we'll step back and take a look. Everything is working like it's supposed to. Oh, that looks good. Got the blinker out here. Let's turn the hazards on. I don't have a key in it or I'd turn the blinker on. Everything working like it's supposed to. I think it looks decent. I'm gonna go ahead and knock the other side out off camera, do the exact same thing. I need to turn it off so the bulbs don't get hot again. And then we'll get the grill in it. Put the plastic back on, possibly try to aim the headlights when it gets a little darker out. I don't know, will they hold up? Time will tell. I do like the blinker option as opposed to the, you know, the old method of having the daytime running light. I just think that looks, I don't know, it just looks weird during the daytime. And they always burn out and the socket, I actually was gonna tuck the socket back in there and tape it up, but since it was all cooked and cracked, I took it off. Look at that. Like I said, not a race car light guy, but I think it kind of fits with the bars up top. I could have probably put some vinyl in that same manner and not had to live with these, but I thought I'd give something different a shot. Look, we've done stock a long time. Let's try something new. Let's get this thing back together, clip that grill back in, tighten those, just the two here, the 10mm up top, get the plastic on. Maybe it'll be dark enough to set the bulbs. This looks pretty good in my opinion. We got the grill all back in, got the plastic under the hood. I told you guys I was going to show you how to aim the headlights, but I don't think I'm going to do that. It's too hard for me to do that in the dark, and I've made videos like that before. I've obviously made videos on headlights before, but I've never used anything like this really. I did something similar on the dually, if you guys go back and check that out, but I will tell you how to aim the headlights. There's a little mark in the center of your beam. Well, there's supposed to be. I don't actually see it here. Interesting. So this just may be, we may just have to do this by eye, but normally there's a spot in the middle of your bulb right here. There's like a plus sign or an X. And what you're doing is you would measure from there to the ground, and then you would go 25 feet away from the headlight surface. So like on a flat surface, like a garage door. And from this measurement, let's say this was 3 feet. You would subtract 4 inches off of that, and that is where you would put your tape line on your garage door or wall or whatever you're using. And so you're wanting to be 4 feet below at 25 feet away, if that makes sense, from the center of this guy. So I'm gonna do that probably, I'm not even sure I'm gonna do that tonight, but all in all, I'm pretty happy so far with these lights. Now, time will tell, will they last? Who knows with these things? I mean, they're cheap compared to like other ones. I will say the ones I used in the dually were really, really well made, but they didn't have this version. They had the ones with the LEDs on the inside, and I just, like I said, I was going for that certain look. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the install of these. I will list everything I use in the description. I think I got it all off Amazon, to be honest with you. And we will have to upgrade the fog lights on another day. I would really like to paint that lower valance like I did on my green truck. I'd like to paint that thing black. That way there's not so many colors on the front of this thing. I hate the fact that it's like red, chrome, black, chrome, gray. Like, where does the gray fit in? I don't know why GM didn't make those black. But if you did enjoy this video, smash that thumbs up button. Guys, if you were not subscribed, go hit the subscribe, ring that bell notification. That will notify you every single time we drop a new video. And stay tuned to see what we work on next.